NetNewsLedger sat down with Andy Savela from Unifor to talk about the issue of Dease Pool in McKellar Ward. Here's the story.
I'm happy to say that Unifor has supported financially and by way of our activism the calls to rebuild and redevelop Dease Pool. We're a union that takes on social justice issues. We've done so in all the communities where we have members, and in Thunder Bay we've really been involved in a number of things related to social justice. We give a large contribution to women's shelters and regional food distribution every year. We do all types of this type of work. We're going to be a major sponsor of the Special Olympics in Thunder Bay in the new year. So we're excited about these things, but we see that we have a role in social justice issues because we represent workers and their families, and often those groups come to see us for our support and our influence and help in terms of bringing attention to their issues.
And the families in the Dease neighborhood with the pool, I think they were caught a surprise last year. The first item for the new council, and it was closing the pool.
Yeah, I don't know if that's not done without intent. I recall, when I was first elected to council in the McKellar Ward, I think one of the first things that I had to deal with was a recommendation to close Dease Pool. I think it's something that previous councils have endeavored to do, but obviously all the former councillors of that ward have been able to fight that off. So I think I think it's inappropriate, frankly, when you have a brand new council to put an issue like that's so important to the community on one of the first agendas, because frankly they're just getting their feet wet, learning the processes and whatnot, and it's disappointing that they treated it this way. And I don't think, frankly, anybody was ready for the announcement that they were going to close Dease Pool, or that that's the way that the city definitely intended to go.
We're getting word that there's a study that's being released tonight at City Council for December the 2nd on a core review, and one of the people that I've talked to on this report says they're going to be saying that you've got to start maintaining your infrastructure at Thunder Bay. Now when you think of Dease Pool, Centennial Park, Chippewa Park, and the list keeps going on, the Centennial Conservatory, should one of the primary jobs of a local government be to keep its infrastructure up?
Absolutely, and I think that's actually got to be absolutely got to be a priority for any municipal council, is keeping your current infrastructure up and running. I think that you need to do that prior to going on to developing more infrastructure projects.
The indoor turf facility that the city is working hard on right now, is that needed when we can't keep up what we got?
Well, that's a great point, because the reality is we're closing Dease Park. We're seeing other things like Chippewa, Centennial, that have lacked investment in terms of keeping them viable and keeping them appropriate for the public to use. But we're talking about we've allocated, as I understand, $5 million towards a study to build a $25 million indoor turf facility in Chapels Park. And it becomes an issue of equity, because Chapels is in Northwood, which is our mayor's home ward. And I grew up in Northwood. My family was one of the first families to move in that ward, but I can tell you right now, when I look at Northwood, they've got a host of soccer fields, they've got an indoor swimming pool, they've got 2 community centers, they've got a golf course. There's all kinds of facilities in Northwood for our residents and their families and children to enjoy, and all kinds of programming in Northwood and in other wards for people. But if you look at this area of McKellar Park and in the McKellar Ward, if I recall looking into it, there isn't organized soccer in McKellar Ward, there isn't organized baseball in McKellar Ward, there's no community center, there really isn't much other than this pool that the city provides to give these kids something positive to do over the summer months. So I know firsthand the value of the pool because I moved my family into McKellar Ward when I ran for council. We actually lived on McKellar Street, about a 3-minute walk from the pool. And I would go down there often with my kids on a hot summer day, and we would enjoy the pool. But what I learned from doing that and talking with the people who utilize the pool is how important it was to them, how important it was for parents who often both had to work and counted on one of the older siblings to take care of their brothers and sisters, and those kids would generally go to the park every day because it provided them some relief. It was a positive experience for them to bring their brothers and sisters to. The lifeguards were positive role models, and so I became to learn firsthand the value of Dease Pool and what it meant to the community and the families and kids who live there. And I also learned firsthand that there wasn't a lot else that the city provided with respect to a positive thing that these kids could do over the summer break.
Andy, thank you for taking the time.
No problem.